I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've officially obtained a Fernet Branca coin.
Oh, hi, Marc.
What's up, Freccero fam? Welcome back to my channel where I'd like to explore everything that life has to offer. And this is a story. In case you don't know what this is, you're gonna find out, as this has a crazy history, not only in terms of the history of the coin, but my journey to obtaining this coin. So let's get into it. Now, in case you don't know, Fernet Branca is an alcohol referred to as a digestif.
Soprattutto il gusto, deciso di carattere. Soprattutto Fernet Branca.
As a lot of people have a shot of it after eating a big meal. It kind of helps settle your stomach. As you can see here, Fernet is a mixture of herbs, barks, and botanicals blended with distilled wine. So you may have seen a bottle of this at, let's say, a bar, a nightclub, or other places when going out. And like I said, it's a very herbal style taste that's gotten very, very popular. Now, in the bartending world, there is something called the Bartender's Handshake. The main idea is when one bartender is ending their shift and another one is starting their shift, they do a shot. Think of it kind of like passing the torch. I think that's a good way to think of it. They're like, hey, my shift's ending, your shift's starting. I'm kind of passing the torch to you, so to speak. As a result of this and the kind of underground cult-like status of Fernet Branca, they decide to release Fernet Branca coins, also referred to as a Fernet Branca Challenge Coin, in 2013. The crazy thing about these, as you can see, is they're very limited in number. There's only about 1,500 in the entire world, and Fernet Branca coins are the ultimate quote-unquote in among those in the know. Now, here's the way the coin works. Why is it called a challenge coin? As you can imagine, it's very hard to obtain one of these, and here's one of the reasons why. So if I walk into any bar with this, and I put it down on the table, like so, I am offered a shot of Fernet Branca on the house. Here's the catch though. If the bartender also happens to have a coin on them and they place it down, I owe them a shot. So it's kind of like a fun little gamble, little challenge, as it's referred to in terms of a challenge coin. It's like a fun little thing when it comes to the coin, because of course, even if I own a coin, I have to have it on me. So if I go to a bar and I place it down, even if the bartender owns one, but they don't have it on them right then and there, they owe me a shot. And then of course, if they happen to have it on them, I owe them a shot. As you can see from this list as well, there's a lot of rules when it comes to the Fernet Branca coin. For example, you don't just request one, you have to earn it, which I'm gonna talk about my story in a second. You have to have the Fernet Branca coin with you at all times. You cannot alter the coin in any way. There are roughly about 10 rules or guidelines to this, but the last one and most important one is in case you lose your Fernet Branca coin, all we can say is never lose your Fernet Branca coin. With that all being said now, here's the interesting story of how I obtained the Fernet Branca coin. And I do want to stress, you might be able to find them on eBay or buy them or whatever, but one huge aspect of the coin is you can't buy it, you have to earn it, right? I even saw on one site, they said, you don't find a coin, the coin finds you, which I do feel like is ultra philosophical about the coin, but hey, I feel like that's kind of what happens. And that's what happened to me. So going back a while ago, in 2012, I graduated college and I was gonna be starting as an accountant in September. So I had an entire summer before the real world really hits me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something I've never done before. I bought a one-way ticket to Rome, walked around with my resume, referred to as a CV in Europe, walked around with my CV, ended up bartending and club promoting and DJing in Rome for summer. One of the best summers I've ever had. It was incredible, met a lot of great people, had phenomenal experiences and a lot more. And that was one of the first times I really heard about the Fernet Branca culture. I remember doing a shot of it after I ate food to help everything settle. Like I said before earlier in this video, it's referred to as a digestif. And I remember learning all about Fernet Branca. Here's the thing though, that was in 2012. So even though I learned a lot about the culture, the coins did not come out until 2013. And I did hear about the term Fernet Branca coin here and there casually, but never really connected the two. I never really thought anything of it until earlier this year at South by Southwest. I was at a bar talking to the bartender about Fernet Branca, how I used to bartend in Rome and everything. And he goes, oh, do you have a coin? And I said to him, no, I've heard about the coins, but I don't really know too much about them in terms of the exact details because they came out a year after I bartended in Italy. And he explained to me everything about the coin in terms of the challenge aspect, in terms of obtaining one, how hard they are to get, and a lot more. And at that point, I was like, okay, you know what? Somehow I'm gonna get a coin. I don't know how, but I'm gonna definitely try to obtain a coin, but it's just gonna happen, right? I'm not gonna force it, it's just gonna happen. I'm gonna put the thought out there to the Fernet Branca universe, so to speak. Now, a month later, I was at a bar here in LA called Grain, talking to the head bartender, Liam, who's a phenomenal bartender, by the way. Huge shout out to Liam. And me and him were talking about the coin. He told me how he has one and how it's very difficult to get a coin, how even just finding one is near impossible. Because like I said, there's only about 1,500 in circulation worldwide. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm getting a lot more information about the coin, but now I realize even more so how difficult it is to get one, but something's got to happen, right? It's just gonna happen. A couple weeks later, I was in West Hollywood bar hopping, and I went to a bar called Bayou. Walked in, it had a very New Orleans style feel, really cool bar. And look on the side, and they have Fernet Branca on tap. This is the only place I've ever seen Fernet Branca on tap, and I'm like, no way. Had a shot of it, and it tasted significantly better than a shot out of the bottle. I feel like for most people, and it's kind of true that a beer, let's say, or anything on tap tastes better than in the bottle or the can. And I was like, wow, this is great. So I said to the bartender, do you mind if I talk to your owner? I mean, I just want to say that this is super cool. I just want to give him props, for lack of a better word, about having Fernet Branca on tap. I start talking to the manager. Huge shout out to Graham, by the way. Start talking to the manager about Fernet Branca, telling him how I bartended in Rome, and a lot more. He's explaining the whole science of having Fernet Branca on tap and a lot more. And then he goes, oh, if you think that's cool, you're gonna think this is even cooler. And he takes out a coin and he has a Fernet Branca coin on him. And at that point, I started raving, being like, that's amazing, that's awesome, you have a coin on you. I know they're so hard to get, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And then he pauses and he goes, look, I've been kind of waiting for a moment like this. I can tell how excited you are about Fernet Branca. And of course, the Fernet Branca coin, I have an extra coin. Come back in a week and I'll give you one. Ended up going back to the bar a week later, popped in, did a shot of Fernet Branca with them, and then finally obtained this coin. And I gotta say, with all the lore, if that's the right word, with all the history, with all the intense following of Fernet Branca, and the Fernet Branca coin, I'm excited to say that I've officially obtained a Fernet Branca Challenge Coin.